Hello, everyone. So in this talk about deploying a B2B mobile application using Sylius APIs, we will present you a project carried by La Compagnie des Desserts, a French company, with a collaboration of our agency, wide agency. So my name is Dominique. I'm a technical lead on e-commerce, and I'm working at wide agency in Switzerland.
I am Célia. I'm a web and mobile application developer at web agency Geneva, Switzerland also.
And then I'm Jérôme. I'm the CIO of La Compagnie des Desserts. And I'm based in the south of France, in Lézignan, close to Narbonne.
Wide is part of the Talent Group. It is a digital agency with several offices across Europe, especially in France and Switzerland. For La Compagnie des Desserts project, our teams from Lyon, Nantes, and Geneva were involved in the development phases, and even our team from Paris has been contributing to the designs. I let Jérôme speak a bit about La Compagnie des Desserts.
Yeah, the aim is to introduce a bit the La Compagnie des Desserts. So we are producer and distributor of ice cream and pastries. That's quite great, just after lunch. And we are, you have all the figures there, but we are a kind of international company with a lot of ice cream produced and a lot of piece of pastries produced. And we are located in different locations. We are mainly in France, and the headquarters is based in the south of France, in Lézignan-Corbière, close to the sea. And then we have a different kind of location in France, in UK, and in Spain. And then we are, the particularity is that we are not only producing what we are doing, but we are also delivering, and the distribution is really a key topic for us, because everything is frozen. And the aim is really to ensure the security of the products until the customer. And yes, why I'm there? Because I was the one looking for using Sylius in our project, and we have launched this project to rework what we already had. We had a previous website, but not linked with our app that we developed later on. And the aim was also to really harmonize this kind of platform, to have the same feeling, and that the users can switch from one device to another one, and to have the same kind of experience when they are on their apps or on the site. And also, as I just mentioned, we are located in different countries, and that's important also for us to be able to have a common platform that can be useful for international implementations. And so that's why we have chosen Sylius, because it's really wide distribution. We have also a lot of skilled resource on the market that can help a company like us. So that's quite a key topic for us. We have built in, there is the ability to support the B2B approach, and that's what we are doing. So mainly a good point for this platform. It's quite open, so we can have our own rules without big issues that we can introduce in the platform. And we have chosen also to have a dedicated website and a dedicated app, not a PWA, for users also, because when you are in your landscape and that you want to order, it's easy for some of them to take their phone, but when you have to place the PWA for the first time, it's quite technical, it's not so easy. So that's why it was important for us to be able to have the two kind of things. And yes, the last thing, but not the least, the price of the Sylius platform is quite interesting.
Okay, so let me continue with a little bit of technical context about this project. So before the project of rebuilding all the platform, we had two applications, one for the e-commerce website and one for the mobile app. Both applications were both connected to the ERP in order to import the products, the prices, the stocks, and we needed to get all this information. So as the two applications were clearly separated, all the business logic needed to be present in both in the e-commerce website and also in the app. So kind of several issues with such an architecture is first that we don't have data syncing, meaning that both applications were not linked together. And for example, if you begin your cart on the mobile app, you won't have the same cart on the website if you are connected. But we could have this information because the customer is really connected. So maybe we could do something on that. Next one is that we don't have a shared user experience. Both applications were quite similar in terms of design, but as they were built separately, we don't share components, design components, elements, pages, etc. So we needed also to do something about the user experience. And last but not least, there were no code mutualization because we have two applications and there were no way to share the code. So all the business logic that is done on one application have to be done on the other one. And if you have something to modify on one, you have to do it twice to be able to have it. So considering all this, la Compagnie des Desserts wanted to rebuild their application. And also for us, it was we had to address several challenges rebuilding this application. So first one is the complexity of the business case. We are in B2B application, so it means that all the rules about the product, the prices, the stock are really complex, and we have to have a flexible solution that can address all that. The second, as Jérôme said, we have multiple countries where we want to be present on the web. So the solution needed to be adapted for European countries with multiple currencies, taxes, and different pool also of customers to address that. The third one is about the data flow, because we are really connected to the ERP. All the data that we have on the website and on the mobile application directly comes from the ERP. On the B2C, you will display for the order history, for example, the list of orders you have on your application. But here we needed to call directly the ERP because there's a lot of orders that can be made by phone or on the application. So we needed to have this pool of orders directly coming from the ERP. And it was not the only data we needed to have on the fly. So there was a complex data flow to put in place. And the last one, as Jérôme said, we didn't want any PWE because if you want to share code, it's like, maybe a PWE can answer the question. But here we wanted for the customer to easily install the application, for the mobile application to be really adapted by all the customers.
So this is what came out as the new architecture. As you can see, Sylius is in the center of it. Sylius is communicating with the ERP to synchronize all the data. On the other side, we can see that we added a Flutter mobile application, which is communicating with Sylius through Sylius APIs. And on the other way, we have a classic Sylius front end. When we started this project, the first thing that we need to align was the designs between the application and the website to ensure the same experience between both applications. Here you can see a comparison of the product listing page between the both applications. And while using Sylius, both applications are now connected to the same data source, which make the experience fully seamless. As an example, you can see here that you can start your cart on your mobile device through the mobile application and then complete it on the web through your desktop. And this also works the other way around.
So now that we have a big picture of the architecture of the solution, we would like to present you some business cases that involve both the website and the mobile application and how we manage to deal with it in a B2B context. So to begin, a first business case is clearly a classic business case in a B2B application. So each customer has its own negotiated price list. The constraint we have on the project is that we didn't have any customer groups, meaning that each customer could have its own price list. So it's something we had to consider, and for matters of delivery dates, etc., we decide, and it's an important thing to know, that we won't index all the prices, meaning that we could not filter the prices directly on the product listing page. It's something you need to choose when you begin a project. So this kind of thing can be built afterward, but at this time we decided not to do it. So the solution to do this is to store directly the tier prices on the customer. And each time the customer will connect on the platform, we get the price list from the ERP. So we don't have to import it directly for all our customers and update it every day. And also, as we store the prices directly on the customer, we override the calculation method for the product prices. The advantages of this solution is that by overriding the calculation method, the prices are available both on the API and also on the tweak templates. So doing the code at a single place, both applications could have the prices. And also the cart price rule can still work. So based on the price calculation, the catalog prices, we could have some cart rules also to add more promotions and things like that. The drawback is that we kind of deplugged the catalog promotions because we had these prices directly on the ERP. So it was not really a matter because all the catalog promotions were directly in the ERP.
Yes.
So just a little example, it's a simplified code, and there's a lot of code behind, but with just a single method, single decorator, we were able to directly modify the price that is returned from the calculation. So here we did a decorator on the product variant price calculator. You can see that we have a service that brings the product price, the custom price for a specific customer, for the customer who is connected, and return its price if he finds one. And if he don't find a price, we just return the classic price. So this is a simple case. I will call it simple because it was quite simple to manage it. Now, a more complex B2B case that is still B2B classic need is that each customer has have access only to a list of products that is specific to him. So this can bring some issues when you consider it. So if we imagine the catalog as a cake, for example, I think the image is quite nice with Compagnie de Dessert. For example, here, for guest users and for customers who don't have any specificities, we have the public catalog, okay? And then for La Compagnie de Dessert, we have some customers for whom we create products that are made specifically for them. So in that case, we have what we call exclusive products. At the opposite, we have for some customers that for logistic problem or issues or this kind of manner, we have excluded products, meaning that we take the public catalog and we remove some products for them. And finally, we have some customers with limited access to the catalog. So they have only a few products from the catalog. For geographical matters, for example, on the island, we cannot deliver everything, so they have only a few list of products. So, with all this context, how can we build the product listing page, the search page, the product recommendation, but keeping the sorting, the filtering, the pagination still work, and keeping good performances, because we didn't want to filter afterward the list of products with these rules.
All of this keeping in mind that we have 2 platforms to populate.
So the solution was, for most of the Sylius project, we use Sylius Bitbag Elasticsearch plugin. So what we decided is to index directly on the product the list of the customer for which we have exclusive products or excluded products. And also for the limited catalog, we decided to put directly the list of products on the customer. So meaning that we will, with Elasticsearch queries, we will be able to filter our list with these products. So the advantage is that we keep the sorting, the pagination, everything works with it. And also, all this, as we modify directly the indexation and the queries, both the product lists are available both on the website and in the mobile application. The drawback of this solution is that we can have some complexity in the Elasticsearch queries, because we had a lot of conditions and the queries can be quite long. So just to give you a bit, some example in the code of how we did it, first we had a transformer on the product model to be able to add our attributes for exclusive and excluded products. Here in the transformer, for each product, when we index it, we get the list. For example, for the exclusive product, we get the list of the customer that have access to this product, and we index the list of the customer directly on this attribute, the limitation attribute, as you can see here. And in the opposite, for excluded product, we use the same method, getting the list of the customer that don't have access to a certain product, and we index it directly on the product. And then once we have indexed everything in Elasticsearch, we have to modify the query to be able to have the rules on the query. So here we just created a decorator on the query builder to be able to add our specific conditions on the query. So here on the customer limitation query builder. And I don't know if everyone sees what we have here, but if you see on the line 12, we have the condition about the exclusive product. So we search for the product where my customer ID appears on this attribute, customer limitation attribute. On line 18, we have the limited catalog. So if the customer has on his data limited access to the catalog, we directly search for all the product ID that he has access to, meaning that it will limit every other condition to this particular list of products. Then on line 24, we have all the products that are public. So here is the products that have no limitation, so we are able to get all the public catalog also, but only for the customers who don't have any limitation. And finally, in line 32, we have the excluded product. So we just remove the product where my customer ID appears on. So that's a solution. I think depending on the B2B project, we can have other solution, but in that case, it was something we can put in place because we try to understand how it was organized on the ERP, how the products were organized in the ERP, and it's important to for B2B project like this to be able to analyze before trying to concept something, to understand everything, to be able to index something. So in this case, we have a few projects, so we were able to do it. Maybe if we have a larger catalog, we can use customer groups if they are available, for example, to filter on customer groups instead of filtering on customer IDs. And yeah, once again, it's important to know what is in the ERP, understand it, and then starting to do some code to filter everything. So now I'll let Célia present you some other business cases, starting from notifications.
Yes, let's move on to the notification part. So just to give you a little piece of context, at La Compagnie de Dessert, each customer has a weekly cutoff time. This is the time of the week by when they should have placed their order to have it delivered the next day. So what La Compagnie de Dessert asked us was to remind the customer that the day of the cutoff time is today and at 8 a.m. And if they haven't placed an order 30 minutes before the cutoff time, we have to remind them again that the cutoff time is coming in 30 minutes. We had a few challenges to address in order to be able to have this notification working. So we needed to collect the cutoff times of each customers because they are stored actually in the ERP, so we needed a way to collect them. We then needed to base our notification on e-commerce events. And as we decided to use Firebase Cloud Messaging for the push notifications, we needed to collect all the device tokens of each customers in order to target them through the FCM APIs.
So as the information are stored in the ERP and the Sylius is a center of the architecture, for the cutoff times, days, we just import them every day to be able to have this information in Sylius.
And again, as Sylius is in the center of this architecture, we were able to trigger the notification on any events or any Sylius data. And then we decided to provide an API endpoint that the mobile application is calling to send the device token to Sylius, and then Sylius is storing it in the customer data. So now that we've seen how everything is set up, let's get through the actual notification flow. So the first step is that when the customer accepts the notification on his device, The Flutter application then calls Sylius API we just talked about to send the device token to Sylius. Then Sylius gets it and stores it on the customer table. Then we have a scheduled task that runs every morning at 6 a.m., which is able to create a message to be sent to all the customers for whom the cutoff time is approaching.
And since Firebase doesn't allow to schedule notifications, so we need to keep it before sending them. So we decided to use a queue to be able to store all the messages and then to send them. So we use a Symfony message queue to do it. And when the time comes, we can send the notification. So we have full control on when the notification is really sent to the user.
The fourth step is that when the hours is reached, then Sylius calls the Firebase Cloud Messaging API with the notification content and the device token. Then FCM calls the native Apple and Google API, so the notification reaches the device, and then finally, the user can see the notification on his device. So that's how we did turn Sylius into a kind of a notification machine. And with this system, we are now able to send all kinds of notification. Like we can maybe plug the notification system on any e-commerce events, basically. So we would be able to manage abandoned carts, reminders, shopping and delivery updates, and all this kind of stuff. Let's now move on to the payment part. So as we all know, the payment might, in some projects, be a complex or a tricky part to integrate. But in our case, as we decided to use Stripe, everything went surprisingly smoothly, thanks to thanks to Stripe, Flutter, and Sylius integration. So let's have a look on how the payment flow works on our system. First, when the customer validates his payment method through the mobile application, then Flutter calls the Sylius payment configuration API endpoint to initiate the payment.
Then when the API is called in Sylius, Sylius calls Stripe to create a payment intent and to be able to retrieve the information from Stripe.
And then Sylius returns to the application the necessary information, such as the publishable key and the payment intent client secrets, which make the application able to use the Stripe SDK to display the payment form using the data we just received from Sylius. And then when the form is completed, Stripe SDK pushes every information to the Stripe server. And if the payment information are valid, we just redirect the user on the order confirmation page.
And because the payment have been done on the mobile application, we needed to have in Stripe the webhook, like in most of the e-commerce websites. So Stripe can tell Sylius that the payment is successful, and then we can mark the order as paid and then proceed the order.
Let's see a small code example of how this translates in the Flutter application. So this is Dart code. On the left, you can see that Flutter is calling the Sylius payment configuration API, and this API, as we just told, returns the Stripe payment configuration object, which is containing the publishable key and the Stripe payment intent client secrets. These information are then pushed to the application state, which makes us able to call the Stripe SDK present payment sheet method in order for it to display the payment form. And then if the payment succeeds, we redirect the user to the confirmation page. Otherwise, we just display an error and the customer can try his payments again. So overall, this is how the integration have been surprisingly smooth with Sylius, Flutter, and Stripe. Everything just worked kind of out of the box. And this concludes our technical part for this talk. So I let Jérôme with the final words.
Yeah, so quite interesting on the technical part. At least for me, yeah, I can acknowledge that that is working, and that's really interesting. We have quite a big volume on what we are doing there, as 32% of our turnover is based on the Sylius platform. And now, yes, what will be the next step and what will be interesting on the business side there? It's really to continue the country implementation. And yes, we have the France as the pilot, and now we just roll out the Spain country a couple of days ago, and in a couple of days we'll have the UK, and in a couple of months. I hope that we will be able to do the Switzerland. That's the main topic, and we will also have to continue our journey with the platform to integrate new features like the product recommendation, to personalize the things, and again to have advanced promotion topics, like the bundle, like the 2+1, and all these kind of things that can help and make the journey of the customer more with a better feeling and more accurate, and to keep him on our platform instead of going to others. And and then in terms of improvements, yes, it will be continue the journey on the personalization and really improve this with having a dedicated flow for each customer, and that the customer feels that is unique. And I think that's one of the key of the business there.
So we have 5 minutes. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask.
So congratulations for your presentation and your realizations. I have a question regarding one of your previous slides. You were mentioning there in a PHP class that you're getting all the products for the customer. How big is the database and how scalable is that approach?
Yeah, it's a good question. We have I don't want to say an error, but I think for the catalog limitation, we have maybe maximum 100 products, but in Elasticsearch query, we can really put a lot of products. And as I said before, maybe if you have a really huge catalog, you can manage to have maybe product categories or tags on them that you can to be able to mutualize. But you won't have any magic solution if you have a really big catalog, if you don't mutualize a little bit the query.
Going to change your company about a little bit.
On the catalog, public catalog, it was more thousands of products. But for limitation, we were about the catalog limitation is more.
Sorry, with the mic is better. Yeah, I think on the global, the general catalog is around 3,500 products. But for the limitation, it depends on the customer. Then after,
but putting thousands of products won't be a problem on this case.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm curious, you've shown the payment part of the checkout in the mobile app. How difficult was it to integrate the full checkout experience directly with dark code?
We did not have to integrate the old checkout because at La Compagnie de Dessert, each customer has its own address, so he doesn't have an address selection. So this part is out. So we kind of just had the payment to integrate and the confirmation. So this was a big part of the checkout already.
But there was some specificities regarding the delivery. We had some delivery on food products, but also on materials, and we had it to split it into two deliveries. And it was something we quite complicated to do. But once we had it in the website, it was more easy to have it in the APIs and just rebuild the front end on the mobile app. So we cut some steps, but some other steps were more complicated than the basic ones.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello. I have a few questions, actually. First of all is the mobile app. Why mobile app? Because it's pretty rare in the B2B industry to have a mobile app. Is it something specific for confectionaries that they like ordering from mobiles?
In fact, yes, because when we are talking, I will over them. For us, our main customers are restaurants or ice cream provider on the front end close to the sand, on the beach, and often they don't have a laptop close to them. It's the chef that will order. Is in front of his shelves and saying, "Oh, I need this," and it's easier for them to use a mobile app. And yes, currently, what we see, it hasn't changed a lot. The website has improved with the new platform, but for the time being, we are around 57-60% of the users are placing orders through the app. So that's why it was quite important for us to have a real app to be registered on the stores to ease the approach for the customer.
Yeah, so the question is what technology we use. We use Flutter instead of React Native. Maybe I can let you answer this.
Yes, we decided to use Flutter instead of React Native because at the time we built this application, React Native was using a JS bridge in order to compile the JS to the native understandable language. But Flutter comes with Skia, which is a native rendering system, and it also compiles to native mobile language. So the performance are way better on a Flutter application than on React Native.
And also, we didn't want to do a native language because we had two code bases.
Sorry, we are just doing a lot of B2B projects with Sylius as well, so I'm super curious. If I'm correct, you are using Stripe, right, for payments? And
Yes.
For the big volumes, when you have like thousands of hundreds of euros in your cart, the fee is also big for the merchant. So my question is there any specific offering from Stripe for B2Bs that has lower fees or something that you negotiated? Can you share some insights?
Yes, that's a real negotiation with Stripe that we made, and as it's based on the volume, and for the B2B stuff, the price of each transaction is really based on the global volume that you have, and the more volume that you can afford, the lower is your price. So that was part of the negotiation, yes, definitely, and it was not with the white agency, but really directly with Stripe that we made this.
And you have still to consider the time we save integrating this particular payment method. That is not something to ignore.
Thank you. And
So thank you, and we'd like to thank also the designer that designed all these slides that helped us a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.